Hello, this is Pal Jasmine, and this is a quick video blog that I'm making. Um, and The previous video blog that I was going to submit, it got damaged, so I'm creating it, and I hope that this time this video works. So yeah, as I have said before, I already got a new job. I've been working at the Home Depot for about 4 months now. Things are going pretty well, and I'm very happy about it because I was unemployed for so long, and out of a sudden I have a job, and now I'm getting my life little by little back on track. Anyway, so yeah, my job is an hourly job. Basically, I get paid based on the number of hours that I work during a particular week. What that means is, like, for example, my salary is $8.50, and I work 20 hours. I will earn $170 before taxes. After taxes, I will probably get less than that. It's different from a salary job because in a salary job, you probably get a fixed pay every week, and even if you get sick and you cannot work, you can practically put the day off, and still you will get some kind of compensation. When you work on the hour, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. I mean, I can eventually, after a year, I can qualify to take vacation, all that stuff, and that's okay. But it's still tough, you know. Like, I cannot get sick basically, because if I get sick and I'm not able to work, I am not generating any money. So if I don't generate any money, so I will not be able to take care of my expenses. And my biggest expenses right now are rent, food, and medicines. Anyway, my job also is part-time. Basically, it's not full-time hours, and which under federal law it's 40 hours. So I work less than that. And honestly, in retail, most jobs are part-time. They are not full-time. There are very few full-time jobs when it comes to retail. At the same time, I will admit that I like the flexibility of working part-time over full-time, because by working part-time, I get to do things that I love. At the same time, because my work, because of the type of job that I'm doing right now, when it comes to a budget, it's a little bit difficult. Why? Because sometimes I don't know how many hours I will be scheduled to work on a particular week. Now, how can you do a budget? You know, for those of you that know accounting and all that stuff, a budget is like, you make sure you have your income and you have your expenses. So basically, you try to say you want to save $100, so you do a budget so you don't exceed your expenses are not higher than your income. When doing a budget, when you work an hourly job, it's a little bit difficult because you don't have a fixed monthly income. My income can vary. You know, it depends on the number of hours that I work. There's one way that I can do a budget, and basically what I can do is a rough calculations of how many hours I need to work on a particular week to be able to take care of all my expenses. Basically, I take all my monthly expenses, add them up, and then divide that by my pay rate, and that will give me a roughly estimate of how many hours I need to work, plus or less. Probably more, because remember, the $850 an hour is before taxes. After taxes, you earn less. And at least I can determine how many hours I need to work to at least break even. Break even is, in terms of business, break even is when profit is equal to zero. So basically, your income is going to your expenses and you get no profit. For a person like me and anybody else, break even might mean savings equals zero. So I'm not saving any money for any future. All my money is going to pay for expenses, which is a risky way of living, in my opinion. But when you barely have money, that's the way that you live, and it sucks. Because of low wages, I get food stamps. Even though I may qualify for Medicare, I get my insurance from my employer. I'm lucky that my employer, they offer insurance, so at least I can get some insurance. Now, why I'm making this video vlogs and why I'm saying this? Well, I've heard a lot of stuff in the media, mostly from the GOP leaders, like John Boehner, saying things that bother me, and not only from John Bonner, but sometimes some people that I know have said things that really, really piss me off. You know, when it comes to talking about like people getting help from the government and all that stuff. You know, I think probably they are detached from reality. You know, I mean, it's a tough economy. It's really tough. Even if you have a degree, it's tough. You know, and not. It's very competitive. That's number one because there's a lot of people looking for opportunities. It can be a hectic world out there, and it can make things difficult for people to find jobs and provide for themselves. You know, um, two things that bothers me. Number one is I don't like when people say that people that get benefits they are just lazy. That is not true. I am not lazy, and I don't think other people that are in the same position that I'm in, are lazy either. So, so yeah, you know, retail hours you work odd hours, odd shifts for very little pay, and you have to also deal with people, customers that get angry for sometimes for no particular reason. There's no 8 to 5, and I even have to work Saturdays and even some Sundays, while the people like Joe Bonner probably are in church praying to God and doing whatever they want. You know, I have to work on Sundays. I'm not a religious person. I'm an atheist, but at the same time, you know, I work on Sundays. You know, I work on weekends. There is no like Monday through Friday 8 to 5. You know, that doesn't exist. You know, I wish I didn't have the choice of taking a assessment, but my salary is very low, and because the rent here is a little bit expensive in New York, I have to find a way to break even. You know, and the food stamps they help me to buy the food and take care of myself and cover some of my food expenses. You know, and at least help me to survive. You know, otherwise I think I will be in a worse position right now. Um, Another thing that I don't like is that GOP leader says, and some people said too, is that minimum wage workers have no skills. That is totally not true. You know, I do have skills. I have education too. I have a degree. Anybody who has seen my previous blog know what type of education I have. And honestly, because the economy in the United States hasn't generated jobs, high-paying jobs for everybody that is unemployed right now, sometimes you don't have a choice. You know, let me put it this way, and this is something that I don't know if the people that are in Congress understand or not. You know, bills don't discriminate. You know, when you are in debt, when you have to get power, when you have to get electricity to your apartment, you know, when you have to pay rent, they don't discriminate. They don't care if you are unemployed or not. You still have to pay that money. And if you're unemployed and you don't have money to pay for that, you are fucked. Yeah, I said it. You're fucked. So basically, they're not going to stop because, oh, you don't have the money to pay, yeah, pay later. No, that doesn't happen. You know, they are going to go, the companies are going to go after you. They are going to demand the money from you. If you have a landlord, you might get evicted and you might have to end up living in the streets or having to go to search for help. You know, so certainly, also bills don't care whether you earn $100 a week or $1 per hour. It doesn't matter. You still have to pay them. So because of that, and because of being living with less money, it makes things tough, you know. And in my opinion, if I had the chance, I'll be living with my family to save some of the money from paying rent. But I cannot do that because my family lives far away. I have no choice but to rent, and so have to do so many other people have also have to rent because they cannot afford a house. They can probably not live with their families because they live far away from them. You know, and honestly, I want to live by myself. I don't want to live with my parents. You know, at the same time, I will say that I'm lucky that I don't have any kids because I have seen stories of people with kids and they have it more tougher than a single person like me have it. So I'm lucky in that sense. But can you imagine not having enough money to be able to rent and having 2 or 3 kids? I think that is just fucked up, you know. And it's kind of sad that people in Congress that are living better than almost everybody else in the United States, and they are over there living the good life, you know, and other people are struggling to even have a place to live with their children or even sharing a big room with our adult family. You know, that there's something wrong with that. I'm sorry. In any case, At the same time, because of the very little money, because my money is going to pay for expenses and bills and all that stuff, the important bills, food, rent, and all that stuff, I barely have little money to buy clothes and all that stuff. Um, and also, I don't have money to do many fun things, and also I haven't had money to go and visit my parents in quite a while. It's been 5 years since the last time that I visited Puerto Rico to see my parents. I even had 2 minutes in 2010 my grandmother died and I couldn't go and visit her. So yeah, I've been postponing things that for me are important, and I haven't been able to accomplish them because I've been struggling with unemployment. And honestly, I'm tired of how things are going. I would like a better future, and you know, I have a lot of school debt, and I'm close to 40, and I know that school debt I will have to pay it eventually. You know, I have learned to live with stress. That's the only lesson that I have learned. I've learned to live with very little money. I've learned to control my expenses. I've learned to control where I spend my money, and so I become more wiser about how I manage my money. Because honestly, I'm bankrupt. I don't have access to credit and all that stuff. Yet at this point, even to this point, I still feel like at any moment I can end up homeless. Which is why I'm making this video blog, just to light up and mention these things. What do I want government to do? So 2 things. Because I am transgender, and a lot of transgender people besides me are facing unemployment and financial insecurity because of not having protections, I want government to pass ENDA. What is ENDA? ENDA is the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. Basically, we grant protections for transgender people to prevent them from being discriminated in employment and hopefully housing and other stuff. You know, we need that to pass. We need that bill because it's unfair that people that have skills that could contribute in positive ways to society are struggling financially in our society just for being who they are. It's unfair to deny somebody a job when they have the skills just because they are different, you know. And even then, they don't stop being human beings. So, you know. The other thing is like, I want government to consider increasing minimum wage. Why? Because $7.25 an hour and actually even $8.50 an hour doesn't do it too much, you know. Because hours worked are less sometimes than full-time hours, you know. It's very difficult to keep a place, you know. And as I said, I'm lucky I'm one person, but like if I had a family, you know, even living on minimum wage, it's tough. It's really rough. People cannot afford buying certain things, so they need to get into getting help from the government. The only way to counter that is by increasing minimum wage, you know. And to big businesses, I will say this, you know, please start investing in the creation of high-paying jobs. You know, it's easy to do and it's easy to understand if we look at it in a simple way. And I'm going to see if I can get a pen around here, if I can find one, which I don't. But let me see. Let's improvise here. It's not written. All right. So let's call this manufacturing. Factoring. This is why manufacturing is important in my opinion. So, there's a little diagram here, but basically, manufacturing employs raw materials and people to produce goods and services. Because of the goods, manufacturing companies, they pay salaries and wages to people. People will use that money that they earn to buy goods and services. So it's a circular motion. If there's no manufacturing, then people cannot earn wages, which means that the products that the companies that are producing or bringing, people cannot afford buying goods. That's the basic, simple thing to explain in the economy. So manufacturing is really important because it generates jobs that are high paying. It generates products that will be produced, and also will generate. If you manufacture a product that a person will need, and the person works for your own company, where do you think that person is going to buy that product from, or which brand you think that person is going to probably buy? The way that I see it, it's like that person is probably going to buy the products that are made by their company, so they basically will start investing their money back into them, So, and money, profits. So, think about it, industry. You may got it a little bit wrong when you are moving some companies away, or when you are not investing, creating more manufacturing jobs. Manufacturing jobs are needed, period. We need them. It's good for the economy, it's good for people, it's good for everybody. At the same time, we cannot forget that when you are manufacturing, we also have to take care into consideration of the areas such as the environment and the community too. So, yeah, create more high-paying jobs, please. There's a lot of people like me that are qualified, that are looking for better options, and also there's other people that are looking to be able to earn high money. And also the other thing that can help too is not only create the jobs, but also help people by creating programs where you hire workers and you train them. So you train them, you help the workers get out of their situation that they are, and they eventually might be loyal to your company, most likely, because you're helping them out, you're helping them, with the education costs rising and all that stuff. There have to be another way to generate better wages, and the only way that can be done is like if people will invest in people. There's an old saying that people use sometimes. You can give a fish to a man and he will have food for one day, but you can teach them how to fish, and then they will have fish for a lifetime. So dinner for a lifetime or something like that. I don't remember, but the point is, train people, help others. And I believe that this goes out by helping others. These are ways of helping others. We as our society, I feel like we have gone too selfish, and we need to help others. Helping others achieve their potential, helping others achieve what they need to achieve. We need that. And there are many ways to do it, but I think the ways that we can do it is by respecting all people, and also taking care of people by offering them wages that are good, so they can live on their own, and also generating opportunities for them to grow too. Anyway, this is it for now, and thank you, and have a great day. Bye. Peace.